All right, hey, we are joined, or I am joined by returning guest Cool Frazier and a first timer, a new friend, Scepter.
Yeah, good to
Um,
be here.
Hey,
can people find you online, Scepter, or do you not want them to find you?
They can find me online. It's at John Agnems. Agnems is spelled Aghanims.
Yeah, and he's joining us from a secret facility, so he's had to take some security measures, which I think makes him sound a little bit different.
Yeah,
yeah,
hoping next time I can get some better recording stuff set up too. You know,
Well, that's for national security. Like the audience understands, like they get it.
I
This is a
appreciate it.
This is a
without
sophisticated listenership.
without going to too much details, for the sake of security, there's just some things that happen. So here we are.
Yeah, yeah. Well, we all get it. We get it. And then yeah, cool Frazier, how you doing?
I'm doing great. Getting over a sickness. Actually, I wanted to tell you a really long, poignant story about this sickness.
Well, I don't have an advertiser this week, so
Okay.
if you do want to tell a story, I won't interrupt you.
No, that's all right.
There is something that I don't know if you know this, but this show gets a lot of fan mail.
Oh yeah,
But
we have the best fans.
yeah, the best fans. I got some fan mail for you. I don't know if you saw it.
Oh no, is it in my inbox?
Oh yeah, just check your inbox. It's there.
All right. Should I read it?
Yeah. What do our fans say? What do they want to say to you?
All right.
I didn't read it because it's personal to you.
Yeah, it says, "Dear Cool Frazier, I wanted to write to say how much I have enjoyed hearing you on the movie club. I think the host is needlessly mean to you, and I think you need to stick up for yourself. I think you have a really nice voice. Would you like to meet sometime? JK, haha, just kidding. But seriously, I love your voice. Your wife is a lucky woman." My wife being cool Lilith Sternin, by the way. Shout out to her.
How do you know that? I
Um,
thought you'd never seen Fraser. How do you even know who his wife is? I
because
didn't
I
know
looked it up.
that. Okay, I thought
Plus,
like
it's
you
my
made the name
actual
up.
wife is cool Lilith Sternin.
Oh, of course. You, of course, know
Um,
your wife's name. Yeah.
um, I can't even imagine how cool it would be to be married to such a good podcaster like yourself. I spent $400 on MeUndies in the last 2 months. Maybe we could trade MeUndies pics sometimes. Love movie club fan 2003. Oh boy,
2003. Is that a birth year? That's
yeah, that's
pretty.
a little young.
That's pretty young.
2003 is the
Maybe it's an
year that their
anniversary.
favorite movie came out. What movies came out in 2003? Pirates of the Caribbean.
Yeah, Pirates
Yeah,
of the
there's
Caribbean.
also a movie that came out that was called 13, which might be a hint that person's 13 years old.
Hmm.
Oh dear.
Well, like I said, we have the best fans.
Yeah, I
I, I,
that took
I
a
didn't.
direction I wasn't anticipating, but
Yeah, I don't know about that part about like you being mean. I feel like you're very nice.
yeah, thanks. I think so too.
Lord of the Rings, Return of the King, and Matrix Reloaded both came out in 2003.
Ooh.
All
Hey,
right.
I'm checking the inbox right now, and it looks like a mail just came in for you. It looks like it's from a fan named Steven.
Okay.
Yeah, this one's for you though.
All right. Let's read it. Hello, this is Steven. I am 9 years old, and my dad listens to your podcast. I like the goblins and the funny songs, but I do not like it when you are mean to Mr. Fraser. Please let him finish his stories. He is nice and you are mean. Please review a Ninja Turtle or Beyblades. I don't actually know what Beyblades is. What is that?
I don't
Instead of
know.
spinning tops, you have tops. I know because they wrote this one. My son did actually, but
Oh, I was gonna say this kid sounds like an idiot.
he was high on sugar, at the time we wrote this. But yeah,
Oh, okay.
you amazing tops that do battle in a giant dome. They should make a movie about it if they haven't. I didn't know they made a movie. Maybe
Yeah,
they
I didn't
did.
either. Maybe it's like a TV show.
So it's a toy and a TV show or something like that, I guess.
I think it's just a toy.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, maybe next week we can talk about a Ninja Turtle or Beyblades.
Yeah, I think actually
Oh my,
Beyblades came out in 2003.
they
Okay.
did. Wow, that's incredible.
Wow. So between Movie Fan 2003 and Steven, our average listener is what, like 15?
That's what it's looking like. Yeah.
That's great. That's a really good demographic for marketing.
That's what you're going for, 100%. That
Yeah.
that age, like that's big money there to be
Ch-
made. Just
children,
searching.
not sure if you guys have heard this, but children, they're our future.
Yeah.
Master and Commander and the Lizzie McGuire movie were also 2003.
Uh, Beyblades came out in the U.S. in 2002.
Hmm.
They really took off in 2003 though.
Yeah.
So what have you guys been watching lately? Scepter, have you watched anything interesting lately?
I feel like the last thing I've seen was that Only Murders in the Building TV show. Do you guys talk about TV shows here or just movies?
Yeah, whatever. TV
Oh,
shows,
yeah.
movies.
What is it called?
YouTube.
Only Murders in the Building. It has Selena Gomez in it.
Huh.
And
Is this on a streaming?
it's on Hulu. And it's Steve Martin, Martin Short. It's good. I liked it.
I've heard of it. I don't. It's like a comedy, murder mystery thing.
Yeah, it kind of pokes fun at all the like women who love the true crime podcast. But I think they will still enjoy it, despite kind of being made fun of at the same time. I thought it was good.
Hmm.
Sonic 2 came out for streaming on Paramount Plus, which I have because it's like free. And so,
What came out?
Sonic 2.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I haven't seen that yet.
Oh, I
Like, my
didn't
kids will
notice
be
that.
excited. Little Steven, like he's been begging me to take him to the theater for so long, but
Yeah, I've still been meaning to see Sonic 1.
he never saw Sonic. Sonic was a great
It's
film.
it's just okay for a kids movie, in my opinion.
Sonic 1?
Yeah.
You kind of get what you're expecting, you know. Like you go and expect this is a video game movie for kids, and it does fine for that.
But
You
yeah,
know?
it's brisk. There's jokes. There's decent special effects, action scenes.
Yeah.
And Sonic's in it, so
I heard Sonic 2 was worse than Sonic 1, but
yeah,
I haven't seen either. So,
I heard the same thing.
you watching anything else?
Well, I can't wait for Sonic 3.
Are they
Yeah,
doing that?
I don't know. I haven't seen 2.
Yeah, you gotta know if they set you up for a sequel.
Yeah, before I invest in a.
You ever go to a movie with someone, and then at the end, they look at you and they say, they totally left that open to a sequel.
Yeah.
you know, I did that. What's that movie? Morbius, maybe. I saw
Yeah,
that,
Morbius.
and they left that open to a sequel. I'm not sure that was a good idea or not, but they did.
I just like it when people say that. I think
Mhm.
it's funny because it's like, well, of course, every movie's open to a sequel.
Yeah, true.
You don't want to waste any precious intellectual property.
But what about, isn't it frustrating when it's like they obviously like left things unresolved, like that should have been resolved?
Yeah,
Yeah, it's nice when they tie up loose ends enough where
Like,
if that's the last movie you saw, you're fine. But if you want to see the
right.
next part, you can.
yeah, yeah. It's like a big out now to just like, you can always just like not finish your movie, just bank on like the next guy having answers that you didn't think of.
Yeah, well, like Dune ended, and it's like if they don't get to make a second one, like this is the dumbest movie ever, potentially.
Yeah,
Like the first half of a book.
I think they ended up getting the second part greenlit or whatever, but yeah, he took a big risk on the Dune thing.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I don't watch any like partial book movies anymore for that reason. Because like I watch like one that I remember is Atlas Shrugged. Did they ever finish? I don't think they finished that.
No, they
They
did.
made, they did finish it. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, that was a bad example then. I thought they
It's
didn't
not a
finish
very
it.
good. Like the quality goes down each movie, and the first one's not that good.
Yeah, the first one was not like it was like tolerable, right?
Uh-huh.
And to me, that's what I'm thinking of because I've seen other cases like this where the first movie it's like it's okay, but it kind of doesn't justify more films, and then they make them, but with a significantly lower budget. At least it seems like because the quality goes down quite a bit.
Mhm.
And yeah,
Um, yeah. So I wanted to talk about actually. I've been doing the 2003 challenge, right? So I'm watching every movie that came out in 2003. So
every
I
single every
yeah.
single one.
You know that one? You know that challenge?
Is this like a
That's
is this a TikTok thing?
No, it's actually on WeChat or WeChat.
Oh,
Yeah.
this is a WeChat
Weibo,
thing.
Yeah, it's a
yeah.
WeChat thing. All the Zoomers in China are watching all the movies from 2003 that came out in America. Like all that came out in theaters, not like straight to
Yeah,
DVD stuff.
that's still got to be like 200 movies.
There's a lot of movies that are pretty good that came out in 2003, though. Like Shanghai Nights, Bruce Almighty.
Yeah,
Uh,
yeah. So I started
Kangaroo
with
Jack. Sorry.
yeah, I mean I'm not to Kangaroo Jack yet, but I can't wait. The Hulk by Ang Lee, which we
Of
can talk
course.
about later.
Is that
Um
Ed Norton?
no, it's Eric Bana.
Oh, Bana. That's right. That's right.
Um Big Fish,
Uh-huh. Big
Out
Fish.
of Time,
The Italian Job.
Holes,
Now, the Italian Job and the Hulk, I feel like are relevant for today as well.
League of Extraordinary Gentlemen, Kill Bill, Lost in Translation. Anyway, a lot of great films in 2003, which is why everybody is doing the challenge. Old school.
Everyone, that's everyone
Your
pick
boy
2003 for
Blue.
the username because 2003 was just a great year.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay, that makes more sense. Movie fan 2003 is actually a 35-year-old woman,
Yeah.
Yeah.
which makes her message a lot more appropriate.
Yeah. So I started with Pirates of the Caribbean, and I hadn't watched it probably since like 2005 probably. Like I think I watched it, when it was out on DVD or whatever, or maybe the original iteration of Netflix or something like that. But uh yeah, I hadn't watched it in over a decade. So, I vaguely remembered it, it's not the most revolutionary movie. But the thing that struck me was the stunts and action scenes looked amazing. And it's because it's like one of the last big budget action movies that like actually did real stunts for most of their stuff. Right? They had CGI for like the zombie stuff or whatever, skeleton pirate stuff. But
Hmm.
like most of the stunts had to be done real. Like so there's real fire, not CGI fire. Like
Yeah.
but when's the last time you've seen like real fire in a movie? I don't know.
Yeah, they use CGI a lot for fire. A lot of people complain about CGI fire.
Yeah, and like I'm not a CGI complainer per se. Like I appreciate good CGI or whatever. But it was just so striking to be like, when they like hit a bunch of water, there was like a bunch of water spray and it looked like very good. And I think part of it may have been also like I'm watching it on like a 4K OLED TV,
Hmm.
Sony 4K OLED.
Yeah.
Here's our ad for the
I'll,
week.
I'll put a link in the
Yeah,
description.
it's $3,000 for the 55 inch. But anyway, yeah. So like it looked great, and I was like, this looks awesome, and it's kind of like a fun movie. It's very like fast paced. There's comedy, there's action, there's a girl, and it's enjoyable. And it kind of makes me miss the pre Marvel days where now every movie like that is a superhero movie and has some big purple laser in the sky at the end of the movie. And like, this is not that.
Yeah.
I'm trying to think of like, are there any others like that I'm missing? Like pre reliance on CG, big budget action stunt.
Um, Probably right around then, you probably have a lot of examples. Nothing comes to mind, but
Right.
I feel like the more recent one is Mad Max Fury Road, right?
Well,
Where
Mad
they
Max is good, but there's actually a lot of CGI in Mad Max. But yeah, they definitely did real stunts and it paid off, right? Uh,
yeah.
but but that's like an anomaly, right? Whereas that like Pirates of the Caribbean is kind of like how movies used to be made. Like You know what I mean?
Yeah, you had to hire a guy to like throw him off of a 40-foot thing, 30 times in a row.
Yeah, and I know like a lot of Marvel movies are like we have the best stunt workers or whatever, but they still are doing like CGI head replacement. They're still doing like you know, background painting and all that type of stuff. And it's just like there's this one scene where he's like escaping on the dock or something, and they like are shooting at him, and he's like spinning on a rope, and like he's actually spinning on a rope, and like they would have done that in CG and nowadays, you know.
Mm-hmm.
But
Yeah, I might go back, and I actually was uh not dismissive, but I never really took the Pirates movies very. I didn't give them a good chance. I think I kind of I saw the first one probably, and I don't know if I
uh-huh.
even saw the other ones.
Well, I saw the other ones like once. I never revisited those, and I'm not going to. But I think the first one is actually a good movie, and it makes sense why they were like, let's keep making these until people can't take them anymore.
So you
Yeah.
asked me what movies I watch, and I'm remembering now that just like in the last week or two, I've rewatched all the Rocky movies, like the first five at least.
Oh, I
And
remember you saying that. Yeah.
yeah, so on that note, like I was kind of thinking it's kind of fun to pick a theme and just as a family, go through movies. So I was considering doing Pirates of the Caribbean because I thought the first movie was good and they were fun. They kind of fall off, especially when they got rid of Johnny Depp. Like there was one where it felt like I'd missed several movies. Maybe I did because I just didn't know what was going on the whole time. Um,
Um, are those so? Are the Pirates ones? Are they? Those are owned by Disney, right?
yeah, they are.
Yeah,
So that's on Disney Plus.
yeah,
Okay. Yeah, maybe I'll probably turn that on for my older kid tonight.
that was kind of my intention. Yeah, to see if kids like it still, and seems like they do.
I think my kid looks like it because he's a big Lord of the Rings fan, and so you got Legolas in there. He'd be like, "Oh my gosh, this not cowboy, pirate Legolas."
Yeah, but we should make clear to our listeners that Disney, we don't support Disney.
Mm.
We are based in red pilled, and Disney
And
is
anti Disney,
yeah, we're anti Disney. We don't have Disney Plus.
we don't.
My kids don't even know who Buzz Lightyear is.
People keep asking my kids, like every family dinner when it's like other, bigger families, extended family. They ask my kids if they've seen Turning Red, and my kids reply, "No, go to hell," every time.
um, it's funny though because my oldest does not. He doesn't usually like request specific things to watch. He just watches whatever we put on. But someone like a I don't know, someone at church or something told him about Turning Red, and he keeps asking about. I'm just like, why are you asking about this movie? Like, this is the one movie that I obviously shouldn't show you.
Yeah.
Why do you keep asking about this one? I don't know. It's very weird that he wants that one.
Well, my daughter, so in her kindergarten class, she has a friend, and her favorite movie is Turning Red, and so because of that, my daughter's kind of been the same. She wants to see it. I'm kind of like, nah.
Yeah, it's just weird for my son though because he never really requests anything. Like that's the one he keeps requesting. I don't know. The maybe the creeps are like working hard on that one.
I have a take on Turning Red.
Have you seen it?
Um, yeah, I've seen it. It's not. I think like obviously probably all propaganda is bad, but the um the core message of the movie is bad, which is kind of like don't listen to your parents or something. But but I think for a certain age, it's just a movie about a funny big panda, big red panda,
Hmm.
and that's all it is, right? Like it's not so blatant um that it's kind of that, but I do think for like probably like 8 to 9 to 11 and up, like yeah,
It's like
the
it's
propaganda is pretty blatant.
it's more subversive for an
Yeah,
older kid. All right, well, take that under advisement.
yeah.
People have asked us actually about on this show. They've said, you should do a show about kids movies, which we will do. So we'll cover a bunch of kids movies at some point, and we'll tell you which ones are based in red pilled, and
Mhm.
which ones are like allegories for menstruation or something like that.
Yeah. It's a pretty blatant allegory for menstruation.
um, and to my to answer my own question, like what I've been watching lately. There's another some guys online who well, anyway, some I saw some other people had like a movie podcast. I wanted to check it out, and it was really good. But I listened to it, and they were talking about a movie from the '70s called Walking Tall, which you've probably seen the remake, which was with The
Hmm.
Rock. So I watched actually both. I watched the '70s version and the 2004 version with The Rock. Um, the '70s one was a lot. It's kind of weird because the '70s one is a much more straightforward movie, and it's made in the '70s. But it's a much more, it's like darker, I guess, because it's more kind of realistic, and it's based on a true story. Um, the 2004 one is just kind of weird, but if you've not heard of it, it's basically a guy. He's a wrestler, I think, and I think he was in real life like a WWF type guy, but he wants to retire from wrestling, so he moves back to his hometown in Tennessee. But he finds out there's like a gang, um, that's like they have like a gambling hall, and they guess they do prostitution and stuff, and they're like real bad guys. And he doesn't like them, so he gets in a fight with them at their club, and they beat him up really bad. And then the rest of the movie is basically him just like dismantling the gang, like one guy at a time or a couple guys at a time. um but it's kind of crazy. It's like I say, it's a true story. And this guy goes way too hard, in my opinion. I mean, I guess he's a hero, he's meant to be like the hero, but he he succeeds at great cost to himself and his family. Um, and there was like probably I don't know, call me a coward or something, but I probably would just have moved, or maybe like I would just like firebomb their this club instead of letting them like kill me or kill my wife, which is what happens. His wife gets killed.
Uh,
Spoiler to a true
Spoiler,
story.
I'm gonna. I was gonna watch this movie. So is it a good movie though? Should I watch it? Even though I
It's
know
a
the wife died.
it's a good movie.
is it 270s?
It's pretty '70s, but I actually would say it was less '70s than I anticipated. And this is something I'm trying to get over. I I have always kind of seen movies before like the mid '80s as like old, and I would
Right.
kind of lose interest in them. And I
Well, you've heard
realized,
my famous take that all old movies are boring.
well, and like, and I realized that like pre 1985 is not even old for a movie. It's just that's just sort of like there seems, maybe it's like Spielberg or something, but like there was like that line where it's like the storytelling took a big turn. And like '70s movies are slower. They tend to have like wide angle shots where
Hmm.
they don't explain necessarily a lot of what's going on. Sometimes the dialogue is really muffled, so you can't tell what people are saying. Um, but I would say this was less '70s than I anticipated. It's very watchable to the modern eye.
What
Um,
about the 2004 one though?
the 2004 one is the 2004 one is more 2004 than the 1973 one is 1973, if that makes sense. Like,
So you agree that both of them would have been better if they were made in 2003 though?
um,
Well,
I'm
they
not.
kind of made it. They made the rundown in 2003.
The one
Oh,
with the
okay.
Rock, the one with the Rock is like is there's a lot of like things that don't age very well in there. Like it's just like cheesy early 2000s. But the 1973 one, it ages pretty well, I would say.
Right.
Like they threw a bunch of things into the newer one that are just like, hey, we're updating something old. And it's like, it's just kind of annoying. But like they're going out of their way to make it so you notice they're updating something.
They're like, we're listening to a CD player.
Yeah, yeah, that sort of thing. And like the music choices and the style choices
Hmm.
are kind of aggressive. So anyway, well, I was watching those. I also watched Pig with Nicolas Cage. It's where he's a chef,
I watched a video essay on Pig,
but
but I haven't seen the movie.
but you didn't see Pig.
No.
I'm laughing at you, but I do that too. I watch I watch essays about movies I will never see. Pig is pretty good though. It's he's a he's a guy who lives in the woods with his pig, and they hunt for valuable truffles and sell them to hipster restaurants, and then someone steals his pig, and drama ensues.
Can I tell you the video essay?
Yeah, sure.
So they were comparing Pig to the recent wave of kind of vigilante justice movies a la John Wick,
Hmm.
where they kind of grab an actor that's somewhat older and have him get revenge and kill all these people. And so they brought up like John Wick, and then like The Equalizer by Denzel Washington, and then the one that the Better Call Saul guy did. They made the comparison and said that Pig is kind of like the setup is like that, but then it's not that movie.
Yeah, it's a cool movie. It's about like the underground, like it's about the fine dining scene in Portland, Oregon. And so it's like all these hipster restaurants, and like everyone's competing for the best truffles and the best fresh ingredients from like weird sources and all that. And it's an interesting look at the industry, as well as just like a good like Nicolas Cage performance, and a little unusual story about a pig. So
This actually makes me really excited because I think I've told you this previously, but I watched a documentary with my wife called Amazing Pigs.
uh-huh.
It
Oh
was
yeah.
great, but one of the parts of the story is about how to use them to look for truffles. So that's
Yeah.
kind of been on our mind. So now
Yeah,
is this in theaters or is it streaming? The Pig movie? I guess
I
it's
don't remember where I
2021.
saw it, but I watched it like the same day you were talking about Amazing Pigs.
Oh, nice. Nicolas Cage appreciates pigs as much as that movie does. It
Yeah,
seems
he
like.
he seems like a cool guy, you know. But yeah, I think that's about it for what I've been watching.
Wait, are we going to hear Scepter's Rocky review?
Yeah, what do you tell us about
So
Rocky?
one of the things I really want to do for Rocky is I want to take all the fight scenes and like splice them together because like for the first three movies, no one blocks a single punch, and it's like kind of like comedic because his head's just bobbing the whole time like a bobblehead. You just I'm just like, can you put up your hands or something? But fun movies.
Yeah,
It works out. He runs the top of the stairs. He fights, and then you go to the next movie. It
yeah,
repeats.
yeah.
But
I mean, Rocky Four, ended the Cold War.
it did. That was phenomenal. Well, it's interesting because I don't know if it's because it's fun sometimes as a group to like go through a series of movies,
Yeah,
but we watched like the first 3 or 4 on HBO because they were leaving, and then the wife went to the library and checked out 4 and 5 because she wanted to see those two. It's like, all right,
hmm. Did
great.
you also do like Creed and Creed Two? And
No, so there's Creed and Creed 2, and then there's like Rocky Balboa or something that I think
yeah,
his son fights. So I want to watch those. It's very sad. Creed dies in the fourth one as well, and
yeah.
I still have to see his movies though.
Spoiler alert.
Oh, yeah, spoiler.
Spoiling Rocky Four.
Yeah,
Also, another spoiler: he runs to the top of a mountain.
he does.
So, in case you were watching and you weren't sure if he's going to get to the top, he does.
He makes it. Well, in the second movie on, all right, the first movie he doesn't make it to the top of the mountain. He gets tired.
Oh, interesting. I didn't remember that. Regarding the fighting, I mean, I never really watched boxing, so my understanding of boxing came from like Rocky movies and similar. But then I see like Floyd Mayweather, and like all he does is block. He just like blocks the whole time and then gets a few good hits in, and then he wins. And then
Yeah.
and then he goes home and like hits his wife or something. But he that was like an awakening for me to go and actually see real boxing, because like, oh, this is like not like Rocky.
Yeah. I was imagining like how many times he could get hit in the head, and they were just like, our audience will be fine with this. Like he's getting hit like hundreds of times, and Rocky 5, the doctors are like, Rocky, you have severe brain damage. And I'm like, yeah, he does.
We should do a podcast episode on fight scenes.
Oh yeah, maybe get Brett Kane. He's a fighter. Maybe he could come and
Yeah,
talk about it. Yeah, maybe we'll do that in a few weeks.
sounds good.
Okay. Anything else anyone wanted to get into before we talk about some trailers for some big new things coming out?
Actually, we're getting a call.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Who's calling?
Hello, is this Granite?
Yeah, it is. Is this Mr. Jones?
Yeah, this is Alex Jones. I'm calling in because you used a clip from my show on your last episode.
Oh, that's right. Yeah. Were we not allowed to?
No, I just wanted to call in and say that bone broth, caveman bone broth, it's the best you've ever had. You're gonna want to buy it. Pick it up at alexjonesstore.com. You're gonna love it.
Oh, thanks, Alex. So this is great that you called. I never thought when I started this show that you'd call.
Well, I've been listening since day one, since the first episode. What was that one with Bennett? And you talked about Dune. That was the best episode.
Okay. Well, Mr. Jones, you're gonna have to come on at some point and maybe tell me a movie you like, and then we'll cover that one.
Well, I'm definitely a Dune fan. I love the Bene Gesserit, the Bene Cleolaxu. I love the
Oh, it looks like we lost him.
Oh,
Dang.
I'll let you know if he calls back.
yeah. He's probably on his way to Joe Rogan.
Hey, did you hear back from Rogan?
Yeah, he said stop contacting him.
Uh,
So that's so much for that.
It's trailer time. Trailer time. Come on, everybody, let's watch some trailers. Talk about them when we don't know all the info. We'll talk about the trailers. We don't know anything. It'll be good and everyone likes it.
Yeah, this is the part of the show where we talk about trailers. We make a lot of assumptions about what we're looking at, and we judge things that we haven't seen. So the first trailer we want to talk about was She-Hulk. What is going on with She-Hulk?
Is it a movie or is it a show?
I think it's a show.
Okay.
Oh, wait, it's a show? Why did they make a show out of She-Hulk?
Because she's a
I guess-
lawyer.
Well,
Just- okay.
Scepter, think about this. You have She-Hulk, and do you think you could adequately tell the story of She-Hulk in just like 2.5
In all of its majesty. Yeah, definitely not.
No, I don't
Yeah.
think so. I think we need to be amplifying women's voices, specifically like green women.
Yeah. My
And
favorite woman.
2.5 hours is not enough. So she needs a 10-hour series.
I'm trying to think of like the plot. And soon what happens here is, She-Hulk is the attorney trying to prosecute a bad guy, but she's a bad attorney not because she's a woman, but because of sexism. She's a bad attorney, so she loses a case, and then she has to go beat up the guy for revenge.
And then she has to go on Tinder.
And then go on Tinder, where she finds a guy too. He was on Tinder looking for green women.
She finds lots of guys. They all are all really excited about her.
They like her, as the trailer says.
Oh, I'm looking at the IMDb. It says Jennifer Walters navigates the complicated life of a single 30-something attorney who also happens to be a green 6'7" superpowered Hulk. So in the trailer, she says something about being like family with Bruce Banner. Like, is that her dad or?
No, they're like cousins.
Oh,
So how does she get powers from him?
Gamma radiation.
Okay.
but wait, he got his powers from radiation. But was she in the same spot when he got radiated?
No. It looks like she doesn't get powers. I think this is an origin. Like she'll be getting her powers in the thing.
Yeah, he's like coaching her on how to like wake up her inner Hulk.
Yeah, he tries to attack with chainsaw.
I'm not familiar with She-Hulk, but as I understand it, in some iterations of the comics, she like doesn't even do superhero stuff. She's literally just a lawyer for superheroes.
Huh.
So like whenever there's a story beat in like a comic where Iron Man has to go to court, She-Hulk will be the lawyer assigned to the case.
Another sexual harassment case by Iron Man. So She-Hulk.
So I think She-Hulk is somewhat like it's like a joke character. It's like Ant-Man, right?
Okay.
I'm looking this up, and apparently the way She-Hulk got her powers, at least in the comic, perhaps, is she had to get a blood transfusion from her cousin Bruce Banner, who's the Hulk.
And then she got monkeypox.
Yeah, she got
she got
monkeypox.
monkeypox. I hate when that happens.
Yeah, so I think because there's also something to the Hulk powers where, like, if you try to irradiate someone else, they just like turn into goo. But like something about Bruce Banner keeps him alive, like he's got some special blood.
It's a special DNA that he can survive monkeypox.
So I think that's how she gets it. Now, how do they get a needle to go through the Hulk's skin to withdraw blood?
That's a good question.
Mm-hmm.
They use one of his fingernails to cut, and then.
You guys know the best part of the trailer? It's when they say, "You'll like her."
I sure hope so.
No, yeah, they're definitely like how the trailer was like set up. It almost seems like it was set up to spark internet outrage.
Yeah, like they want to be made fun of.
Yeah, like there's this part where they're like, "Oh, your butt looks so great in that dress," and it's like, what is this?
Well, I wonder, because like the guy who makes the trailer is not necessarily a person who worked on the movie, so it's like,
yeah, maybe they're just like, I'm doing what I can.
Yeah, you get the trailer, and you're like, or you get the actual content. You're like, this is the worst thing we've ever made.
My initial thoughts when I saw the trailer, right, I was thinking back to the Kyle Rittenhouse trial and how, to me at least, in some ways, people's reaction to the Rittenhouse trial was a litmus test on like whether I like you or not, I guess, right? And it's like this was like the same way, but even more so.
It'd be funny if She-Hulk was actually just a retelling of the Kyle Rittenhouse story.
Yeah, she's the lawyer, the prosecution.
Yeah.
Kyle Rittenhouse is a villain. He's a super villain and transgender.
That's right.
Okay, on the transgender thing. Okay, so
yeah,
why is she? So being a Hulk also seems to have made her more amorous, more aroused. Is this like a testosterone thing?
I don't know what they're doing with that. If it's just supposed to be like, I'm a single Hulk in the city and I'm trying to find love, so it's gonna be
it's just so empowering.
Sex in the City, but the Hulk.
Yeah.
So was she having like problems? Like she's like going on Tinder and she's like, oh wow, I finally have all this success on Tinder. It's like were 30-year-old single women in the city having a hard time on Tinder?
Maybe. Pull up women's happiness over time chart. But yeah, I don't know, but the biggest thing I saw is hopefully this is not finalized CG because she looks bad. It looks like a weird CGI monster. And I mean, a lot of memes have already been made, but like it just does look bad. Like even the regular Hulk looks better. And maybe they just had the 3D model sitting around for regular Hulk and couldn't make as good of a one for this lady, but I don't know.
Yeah. So I guess all of this is to say I am all in on She-Hulk.
Yeah,
I can't
definitely.
wait.
You guys are gonna do a live stream of it, like live commentary, real time.
Yeah.
Every episode.
When does it drop?
I hope I can join there. That's gonna be great.
August 17th. Mark your calendars, guys.
Speaking of Disney Plus Marvel shows, I did finish Moon Knight. But
was Moon Knight good? Don't spoil it. I want to see it, but
there's definitely some spoilers that could be had, but to a certain extent, it's the same as all the other ones. So if you liked the other ones, it's the same. The disappointing part of it, the other Marvel Disney Plus shows. The disappointing part of it, I would say, is there needs to be more Moon Knighting.
I haven't seen a single Disney Plus show before, so.
Oh, okay. Well, then it's about as good as one of like the medium to low movies.
Okay.
Basically, he transforms into Moon Knight for maybe like in the first episode you don't even see it. and then in the second episode you get it for like a 3 minute fight scene, and then kind of he doesn't transform again for like 6 more episodes, and then there's like a big fight at the end, I guess, but like that's it.
Hmm.
That's because they were trying to save the CGI of the transformation for She-Hulk.
Yeah,
That saved the
yeah.
budget.
Yeah, well, that they have only so many GPUs at Disney.
Well,
Yeah.
there's a shortage of those chips. You know,
Yeah.
so you can't blame them.
Yeah, all the kids in China are using them to watch the 2003 movies.
Exactly.
That would be cool if studios just released movies that weren't rendered because they're like, sorry, we couldn't get chips in time. So just here's a guy in a green suit and just pretend that's like Hulk.
Just enjoy it for what it is, okay?
Yeah, let people enjoy things.
Here's
Yeah.
the animatic for this scene.
Like, or they should psyop people and be like, oh, you needed fully rendered CGI to enjoy something. Okay, I guess you're not very sophisticated.
No, and it almost seems like the CGI quality on the Marvel stuff has been going down.
Probably.
Like, because there's some scenes in Moon Knight where there's like a car chase, and it's a fully virtual car chase. We talked about it, but yeah, like there's several scenes where it's just like this is the best they could do. Like, okay,
Yeah.
which I guess is impressive for TV, but like, okay.
Yeah. Speaking of these like Marvel people, the Russo brothers who like directed a bunch of the Marvel movies, they made this new movie called The Gray Man or Gray Man,
Mhm.
starring none other than Ryan Gosling, friend of the podcast.
Yep,
Ryan Gosling.
we've got a new personality, my boys.
Yeah, new personality drops this summer or something.
Also, new facial hair. Thank you.
Yeah, this one's going straight to Netflix.
Oh, is it?
Yeah, which you watched.
It looked better than that.
It does,
It looked like straight to Netflix action to me.
Maybe it did.
If you ever saw like Extraction or
I
Triple
didn't.
Frontier, they're both pretty good, but they're like mid-budget action movies, it's kind of cool that Netflix makes them because it's the kind of movie that fell off after in the modern era. Like in the 90s, there's a lot of these like mid-budget action movies,
But we've got Gosling, we've got De Armas,
Yeah.
we've got Billy Bob,
you got Captain America,
and then we've got Captain America.
Well, I thought
With a
that
mustache.
the casting twist is interesting too because the right wing people they like De Armas and they like Ryan Gosling, and the left wing people like Captain America, and they pitch a movie like, oh, whose side are you on?
The radical centrists like Billy Bob Thornton.
Exactly, exactly the centrist. I didn't see Billy Bob in the trailer. I like that guy. But
He's one of the handlers or something.
Yeah, he's
Okay,
the
okay.
older dude.
Yeah, I like him from my centrist days.
Well, it looks good. Russo brothers are good at action, although they're like it's Marvel, so it's. But like when they first did Captain America: Winter Soldier, it was like pretty good action.
Mm-hmm.
It was like one of the best action Marvel movies, and then they tried to kind of recapture that in all the subsequent ones, and it's not as good. But anyway, did you know the Russo brothers actually started on Arrested Development, comedy directors?
I didn't, but recently when I was looking for music for something, they performed some music for one of their movies too. So they're also like music guys.
Well, yeah, but you see a little bit of humor in this. It almost looks like it's a Marvel movie without superheroes.
Yeah, it actually doesn't. So my thing was it didn't feel quite right to see Gosling in that environment.
Oh.
Yeah,
It's a
I can see that.
non-Gosling environment.
Yeah, I mean he's like he seems like he's been really selective with his roles, and this one seems like just a paycheck, which is fine. We support that, Ryan. Get that paper, but it doesn't seem like the right thing for him.
Maybe he just wanted more De Armas time.
Yeah, and I would have told him this. If he had come to me first, I'd have told him.
He never listens.
He didn't ask me this time, but maybe next time.
Maybe next time. Yeah, I think that's all I have on this one. It looks interesting, and I guess I'll watch it for free on Netflix.
Yeah, it looks fine. But It didn't look good. I wouldn't say it looks fine. Like yeah.
It
I
looks
will.
like it might be good. If the
It
action
looked
is
good
good,
enough.
it'll be a good action movie.
It looked like it had enough potential for me to watch it,
Yeah,
but
I will watch it.
If the action is boring or lame or not fun, then yeah. But if the action works, then it'll work.
So okay, so we'll go from direct to Netflix action to a Mission Impossible trailer, which I guess comes out next year. But um, what's going on with Mission Impossible?
Now we've talked a bit about movies that are franchises or series, and I like the Mission Impossible franchise. It's fun.
Well, and it's kind of changed recently, right? They've been coming out more often now, and then because the first three was like different directors, different things going on, kind of different tones, and then the fourth one came out, and it was kind of more in the vein of these ones now, where it's like there's one big stunt that everyone is amazed that Tom Hanks did himself, right?
Tom Cruise.
Tom Cruise, yeah, Tom Hanks too.
Yeah.
Was he in it?
Yeah, he was in it.
It wasn't Thomas. It was
Missed
Chet,
that?
I think, wasn't it? Chet Hanks.
Yeah, it was Chet Hanks.
We got to get
Yeah.
Chet Hanks in some movies.
Yeah. But yeah, so Tom Cruise does the big stunt. So like in 4, it was climbing the big tower in Abu Dhabi or whatever, right? Or Dubai.
Yeah.
And then what was the next one? The plane one?
I don't remember. These are like they all melted together. I don't know them.
Yeah, the next one was the plane one, and he was holding on to the side of a plane. And then the next one was with Superman, and it was the jumping out of high Earth orbit or whatever, like low Earth orbit. And then this one, it looks like it's going to be a motorcycle jump off of a cliff into base jumping.
Yeah.
And of course, Tom Cruise does all of his own stunts, right? I believe that's one of the selling points. So I thought the movie kind of looked like you take Mission Impossible, but instead you kind of mix in like the Batman and then the Italian Job.
Yeah, there was definitely an Italian Job feeling scene with the little Fiat 500 thing. But the thing I've liked about the more recent Mission Impossibles is as action movies, they're about as pure as you get. It's just action, and that's all you're there for. You don't care about whatever thing he's looking for or whatever.
This looks like a lot of stunts. I'm watching the trailer now, just on mute, but it's. I mean, they're doing like there's like a 2-minute trailer that's just pure stunts. Like so that means there's
there's like a horse gunfight. There's a submarine thing. Is that Leah Seydoux? Is that who that is?
No, it's someone else.
Who's that blonde chick?
I don't know, but she's in a bunch of stuff. And there's also some woman who I mean, it's not her, but it looks like Jeff Bezos' new wife or girlfriend, whatever. But
he's got a new one.
Well, he's got that girlfriend that he left his wife for. But Jeff, we can be a little more friendly to you on the podcast if you send something our way, if you know what I'm saying. And then they got Rebecca Ferguson. She's in Dune. She's the mommy in Dune. Oh, it's Haley Atwell or she's one of them. And then there's Vanessa Kirby. I think that's who you were thinking of.
Okay. Oh, she was in the last Mission Impossible. Okay.
Yeah. And then also this is Mission Impossible Dead Reckoning Part 1. And then there's going to be Part 2. So 2023 and 2024. So
it's just going to be nonstop stunts.
So this would make it so that there's 9 Mission Impossible movies now. Then, if you count both the 2, right?
This says 7th installment, so this will be 7 and 8, I guess.
Okay, so 8 then. Okay.
Guess what year Vanessa Kirby was born in?
1986.
2003.
1988.
Oh, 8. Very nice.
That's what we call Mission Impossible trivia.
Yeah.
If they've done eight of these movies, I'm just going to have to say it. The mission seems possible.
Well, it's still going though, right? The one line that stood out to me on this, and maybe are we thinking that Tom Cruise is based and red-pilled? Because the line is like, you just have to pick a side. Like, you can't keep fighting like for your morals against both shadow governments. Like there's two shadow governments, and you got to pick one of them.
Well, they're saying that to him.
Uh-huh.
Wait, what would be the based position here?
Well, just putting that in a movie that like there's no good on either side.
What if Tom Cruise is QAnon?
Yeah, that's what
He
I'm
sees
saying.
the
Maybe they're doing
corruption.
QAnon. This is called Mission Impossible QAnon:
Very cool.
Dead Reckoning,
You guys seen his thing with Matt Lauer?
where he was like laughing.
Well, I can't remember what they're talking about. It was like vaccines or something like that. And he's like, Matt. You don't know the history. I do. It's pretty funny.
Yeah, I've seen that.
It's also funny to me that Tom Cruise, I mean, there's a lot of people talk about his age, how he's still so handsome even in his age.
59. He's 59, very handsome. Yeah.
Doing all these stunts, but it's funny that he's still like the go-to guy for action movies. Like no one has really like, like The Rock has done a bunch of action movies, but they're not that good usually. And
Tom does a great job.
But Tom Cruise is still like the king of the action movie.
Yeah, he's got one in theaters right now.
Yeah, Maverick.
That interview, he says, psychiatry is a pseudoscience. You don't know the history of psychiatry. I do, Matt.
Yes, psychiatry. That's it.
Matt. You're a glib. You don't even know what Ritalin is. I 100% agree here. Tom
It turns
Cruise,
out
he is
that
a
Matt
glib.
was the one raping people in his rape office, though.
Yeah.
Oh, no.
He was locking people in with a button under his desk. And so maybe Tom Cruise is the good guy.
I think
Gotta
Tom
look
Cruise
into this Scientology thing. Sound pretty interesting, actually.
I think Tom Cruise is right that Matt doesn't know the history.
Mm-hmm.
In this Mission Impossible trailer, and this is just for the guys. So if you're a woman, stop listening for 10 seconds. But it seemed like there was a naked lady at the beginning of the trailer.
Yeah, I noticed that as well upon a second viewing, and I'm like, is that a naked lady?
We got naked ladies in trailers now?
Yeah, and there's no red band or anything.
Yeah, I don't know about that. It was kind of like how they do it in Bond movies, at the beginning of a Bond movie. There's like just a silhouette or something. It was kind of like that, but it's like I don't know,
Yeah, what's the messaging with that? Is this supposed to be more Bondy? There's like a Bond villain too. There's like a guy with a funny outfit.
Well, that's what I was saying, like comparing it like to the Batman, because you have like people being gassed by like some goofy green gas in a bank.
Yeah, it is a goofy gas. And then there's an eye patch sniper girl.
Yeah,
Rebecca Ferguson.
It's kind of funny because Bond under Daniel Craig, they became Bourne, right?
Yeah,
and so like the Bond lane is open. Someone can go be Bond now. Someone can just do the Bond thing. I mean, I don't think that's what Mission Impossible is going to do, but
it kind of is American Bond now. But yeah, it's American Bond mixed with like Fast and the Furious, where it's just like an action movie.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, there's a guy with very fancy sunglasses and a nose respirator. And then he's like, here's a goofy green gas explosion.
There's some guy that reminded me like
she's got a katana.
As well. Yeah.
There's a sword fight in this.
Well, also another thing I was thinking about too is you have the scene of Tom Cruise going to the desert, and it kind of feels like whenever you're at like the late stage of any action movie, they had to go to Egypt or whatever. John Wick does that, right? In number 3, he has to go to Egypt or whatever and ride camels, I guess.
That's like a signal of a franchise in decline when they finally have to go to the desert?
Is it maturity or is it decline? I'm not sure. We'll know once John Wick 4 comes out. Then we'll see if it's decline or good.
Next up, we got Obi-Wan, which I didn't realize was a TV show until today, and I guess it's coming out in like a couple weeks.
Yeah,
this thing I just didn't know anything about it. I feel like I should have known more or have heard more about it. But
have you? When watching it, what did you think?
I thought it looked okay.
Okay.
It's got Joel Edgerton, who I like.
Yep.
Here's one thing I noticed.
He was actually in the episode 3, right?
That's right, he wasn't he? I forgot, but yeah, he. But here's something I noticed: there's a lot of the clips from the trailer they look more like generic sci-fi and not Star Wars. There's one
I
part
thought
where
the
it
same thing.
looked a little like Tron, like that some lady like standing over a neon city or something like that. It looked a little more Tron-y.
Uh-huh.
Um, but oh, and was Kumail Nanjiani in there?
He may have been.
I thought I saw him, and that that might be a deal breaker. I might not even watch it.
So, because
Yeah.
I was watching it, I was thinking the same thing, Granite, where it seems like Disney messed up the last three movies they made, and so they wanted to stick with something safe and not be too daring. So just pick a safe sci-fi movie, put what we want in it, and you're good.
Mm-hmm.
But and also in regards to the three movies that I think Disney kind of ruined, if you were upset by that and you like Star Wars before, realize that Obi-Wan takes place before those happened.
Yeah, because
Between
you were unclear on that, right?
yeah, it takes place between 3 and 4, so therefore Disney hasn't ruined it yet, so it's fine.
Well, they did
So,
You're
Rogue
good.
One.
right. So
Okay.
so I'm like a Star Wars guy, right? I loved Star Wars growing up and ingested every bit of Star Wars lore and video game that there was.
Mm-hmm.
So I follow like the goings on, but like yeah, so many people were confused by Rogue One because they're like, when did this happen? Like,
That
and
happened before Star Wars 4, right?
right. But
It
Yeah.
makes
like
it made sense to me, but I can see why.
then they came out with the Han Solo movie, and people were like, wait, I thought he died. And it's like they're trying to do all these different like generations of Star Wars, but like the casual fan is just like, what? Like, what is this? I guess I'll watch it. Like they don't really get what's going on. So yeah, this is supposed to be like Obi-Wan. What did Obi-Wan do between episode 3 and episode 4? That's the idea.
Yeah.
And has the opportunity of encountering such characters as an undead Darth Maul, a younger Boba Fett.
Okay, wait, is Darth Maul in the trailer?
No, but Darth Maul is in the cartoons
Okay.
where Obi-Wan also makes an appearance. So like I watched all the kids cartoons, and this takes place during the same time period as one of the cartoons, which was Star Wars Rebels, which is like the forming of the Rebel Alliance. And the bad guys in this are the bad guys in Rebels, who are the Jedi Inquisitors. So they're former Jedi who joined the Sith to go and hunt down the remaining Jedi.
Hmm. Oh, it looks like they've hired Hayden Christensen.
Yes, Hayden Christensen's going to be in it.
That's nice of them.
Hmm. But who knows what these people are thinking and what they're going to do. But the Inquisitors look really dumb in non-cartoon version.
Yeah.
Those are the Tron people you were seeing.
Yeah, I'm looking at some still images now. Yeah, it's a little Tron-y, but that whatever.
But yeah, I like Ewan McGregor.
Yeah.
So and Joel Edgerton too is probably a pretty good actor.
Yeah.
And so I feel like they kind of lucked out casting him as Uncle Ben, the guy who basically does nothing in episode 4 and then gets burned into a skeleton. I gotta go to Tashi Station to pick up the power converters.
Oh, they got O'Shea Jackson, who's Ice Cube's son. I think Ice Cube. Is that the right guy? I don't know my rappers very well, but
Is Ice Cube's last name Jackson?
well, O'Shea Jackson plays his dad in that NWO movie.
Oh,
So I think
NWA.
NWA, yeah, NWO. I'm thinking of WWF.
Yeah, that's Kumail Nanjiani.
Yeah, and we
As
got
as a Jedi who's hiding out, he's gonna get killed, so that's good.
he's in 6 episodes though, so that means he's in the whole thing.
Oh no.
Oh, they got Benny Safdie. I don't know, the Safdie brothers. They made that movie Uncut Gems, which was pretty good.
You know, it would be cool though if they like. This is what I wish they would do. What if they just have Obi-Wan go tear some people up? You know,
Yeah.
because like he was chopping off arms in that one movie, like so he's probably got no problem chopping up some people.
Yeah,
Like just a hard R Obi-Wan, and then like they just are like slaughtering the Jedi that are still alive.
Well, that's
That'd
what
be
made Mandalorian cool, is that it was such a simple story. It was just a guy just doing jobs, just going from one job to
uh
another, and you know, they do the same thing here with Obi-Wan. Just maybe have him do some jobs, kill some people.
yeah. Like I like that. Like if they just go like we're just gonna have some lightsaber battles. Like every episode, you get a big lightsaber battle where he kills like 5 dudes.
Yeah,
I would watch.
I'll probably end up watching.
Yeah, we'll see. I never saw Boba Fett or The Mandalorian. Should I watch those?
I drop out of things like this really easily though. If I
Um,
after like one or two, I'm just like, I'll drop off.
I'd
Yeah.
say season 1 of Mandalorian is worth a watch.
Mm-hmm.
So I've watched the first season actually, but just nothing past that.
Oh,
Yeah.
so the second season is worth a watch too if you liked the first. But the Boba Fett you can skip.
Okay.
Yeah,
Just,
so some of that, and it was pretty boring.
hmm
yeah. I may not have even finished the first season. I can't remember, but at
And
least
then
saw some of it.
two episodes of Boba Fett are actually just the Mandalorian again.
All right, let's look at this new Avatar movie, the long-awaited return of the Avatar.
Yes, Avatar 2, The Return of the Avatar Bender.
I'm really excited for this one. I always love the Avatar benders.
You never saw the first one, did you?
Yeah, I never saw the first one, but I always liked Planet of the Apes, and this looks like that, but with blue people. It's like cooler CGI.
How did you skip seeing that? Like everybody saw it.
Yeah, I was dealing with some national security during that time.
Okay, yeah, you're
yeah.
always got national security problem.
Highest grossing movie to date when it came out.
To date, it beat the Titanic, who was the previous highest grossing before Avatar, but that didn't have any monkeys in it.
So this is putting the two together. It's Titanic plus Avatar.
Yeah. So in this trailer, are they on Earth, like the
No.
normal Earth? Oh, okay.
No, because they have like the flying dolphin guys. Those
that's
don't live
right.
on Earth.
But it looked like there was like a normal blue whale, and I was like, oh, do they come?
I didn't know the Avatar even go to Earth.
No, that's a conch beam whale. It's got like a little tail you can plug into.
Oh, okay. I was thinking it was just like a normal American whale.
Wait a second. Avatar Last Airbender is actually in this trailer? What?
There's water bending, yes.
Okay.
So I recently rewatched Avatar. And it is a dumb movie, but it's kind of fun. You watch it, there's like and it's like something different, right? Like from freaking every movie being a Marvel superhero movie, it's just like that would have been sci-fi is now just a Marvel movie. But this is like a big budget sci-fi epic that's not anything else.
So remember how they had unobtainium in the movie?
Yeah, that was the best name for metal ever.
Well, here's the thing: is that a lot of people when they watched it, they're like, "Huh, unobtainium? That's dumb," and they use that as a reason for why Avatar was dumb. And I always just thought, like, well,
that's a great name, I think.
Well, there's something called like Einsteinium. Like these things get names, right? Things get weird names. So I never held that against it.
Yeah, what about Taruk Makto?
Tell us about Taruk Makto.
Taruk Makto is the person who can tame the biggest dragon bird.
Ah, okay.
And he's Taruk Makto.
There's
Jake
so many
Sully.
dumb elements, though, like Nobelium, Mendelium, Californium, Berkelium, just Americium. It just gets dumber and dumber.
Yeah, there's a lot of crazy elements.
That's like maybe Avatar takes place in a future where like Reddit takes over, so they're like, "Yo, this is going to be unobtainium because you can't obtain it."
Yeah, I've heard that term is used in other movies too, just as like a stand-in, like for something that's hard to get.
Unobtainium is in other movies.
I don't know if that exact phrase. It's like it appears elsewhere, is what I've heard. As like a science word or just like an inside joke among like scientists or other types of people who work with elements.
So this movie's about family, like the Fast and the Furious movies, and then there's just like a dreadlock boy.
Just like the Fast and
So
Furious. Yeah.
is he like his child, or is he just like they found a boy? Like, where did he come from? Who is this dreadlock Tarzan boy?
Hmm. I don't know. I
Yeah,
just
I
watched
don't either.
the Good Dinosaur. Good Dinosaur. You know,
Uh-huh.
I watched that recently too, like last week.
that has
Yeah.
a little like dreadlock boy.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but like in the first Avatar, it ends with Jake Sully being one of the last humans left, and they kick all the other humans out. And then he decides to kill his human self and be reborn in his blue self.
Oh my goodness! Wow.
It
Oh,
completed the
spoiler alert for Avatar.
yeah.
I
And then like now he's like, but I've got a family, and in this family is this dreadlock boy.
The trailer looked like a video game.
wait, hold on. So is the dreadlock boy? Is he blue human or is he?
No,
Or
just a like a pink boy.
he's a? Oh, he's a pink human boy.
Yeah.
Okay.
Did it look so? Once again, I think some of these things you have to watch on a good TV, otherwise they look like video
Yeah.
games, which is a weird thing. You'd think like if you just like put a film grain over it, it would look not like a video game.
Yeah, it looked like a video game, but whatever. Like, I'll I
Video games look
anticipate.
good nowadays, though. So that's okay.
You know
Yeah.
what I hope happens in this is they meet up with like a water tribe, and then like he has to like ingratiate himself with the water tribe, and
Mhm.
then he ends up falling in love with one of the water tribe women, and then betraying his former clan and going with the water tribe, and then they have a big battle against each other, and then he ends up riding in on like the best water creature,
A blue whale.
like a blue whale with a Kamshmi tail, and and it's just the same movie, but with now he's like this guy's just like a traitor. And
Oh,
like
it's
whatever
just yeah,
group he's a part of, he's like, no, I'm betraying you and going with this new group.
yeah. We have a word for those. They're called liberals.
Oh,
Um,
Well, I watched it again. I found the pink sun. Wow, you're right. Where's this guy coming from?
yeah. What's his deal? Why does he have dreadlocks? He like he's a got it like his mouth breathing face shield thing. You can't take a shower with that. I guess I don't know.
I anticipate that I will feel the same way about this one as I did the first one, which
Me
was
too.
I will I will watch it and it'll be fine, and then I will probably not think about it very much.
You don't want to see the epic tale of Jake Sully?
Well, didn't Cameron say he wanted to do like 5 of these movies?
No, yeah, he's doing, I think, at least 3 more. Like they're
Hmm.
already in production.
Well, have you switched to Monsters Inc? Because there's a blue guy named Sully. Perhaps his first name was Jake.
It's totally a
Are they
nod
related?
to Monsters Inc. James
Okay.
Cameron was
Yeah, it's a Monsters Inc. ripoff.
inspired by Monsters Inc.
Yeah, this is interesting though. Also with Star Wars and Avatar, Star Wars Land just came out, but Avatar Land exists in Florida, and it's funny because uh Disney owned Avatar or did some deal with Avatar because they wanted to do some type of park, and they wanted to do Star Wars, but they couldn't get the rights to it. And so they decided to go with Avatar, and he was supposed to release these movies like in like 2016 or something,
Yeah.
but he never like delivered on it. And then like COVID delayed him even further. And
And then
then and then so they went ahead and built Avatar Land, and then like literally like a year later they ended up buying the rights to Star Wars and then building a tiny Star Wars land in Disneyland instead of Disney World.
yeah, man, that must have been real frustrating for some corporate guys at Disney.
I know. Could you imagine the meeting?
Yeah. I put in 4 years of my life getting the Avatar deal done, and then they just turn around and buy Star Wars.
But it's like then they're stuck with this park related to a 10-year-old movie that nobody cares about. You know what I
That's what I was
mean?
thinking too.
Yeah.
Like, when did Avatar come out? 2003, probably.
2010 or 9.
Oh, I thought it was older than that.
I thought it was lower than that too.
But yeah, that actually sounds right now.
Yeah, it was
2009.
the winter of. Well, it was when I got home from my mission. That's how I know.
Yeah, I was amazed that they bought. Cause the movie was big, but still, when they made that park, the movie was so old. It was like it's kind of.
I remember the theater I saw it in, and I remember it was one of those theaters where you can exit right to the street when you're done. And I just remember walking outside and it was bright, and I was just like, "Welp, that was Avatar."
So you want to hear my story? It's kind
Yeah.
of bad. So I had just got home from my mission, and I was like eager to get back on the dating scene, right?
Yeah.
So first activity that is scheduled, like not even the first Sunday. I go to the activity, and I'm flirting with all the girls I can find. Not really. I'm kind of just chilling. I wasn't that bad. But anyway, I end up talking to this girl. I'm making her laugh, and she's like, "How long have you been home from your mission?" And I'm like, "Oh, I got home on Monday." And she's like, "Oh, I would have guessed like a few years." And I'm like, "Oh." And I don't know what that means. But then anyway, I end up asking her out, and I'm like, maybe we'll go to a movie. I don't know. Like she started talking about movies, so I was like, hey, let's go to one. And so I asked her out to a movie, and I'm like, should we? Like we end up deciding on Avatar. Okay. So anyway, we go on the date. We're waiting in line because it was like you had to wait in lines back then, and then it
Yeah.
was 3D and whatever. And all she's talking about is her ex-boyfriend who was on a mission and who wanted to be a cancer doctor for kids and how great he was. And I'm like, oh, I have no plans. I just got home from my mission. But she just talked about her ex-boyfriend the whole time. And then we end up going in, and then I think she had invited her friend to come with too without telling me. And so her friend shows up, and it was just over. And I just watched the movie, enjoyed it, and then I was like, yeah. And then I never talked to that girl again. So
Yeah.
that was
We
a fun first date home from the
we call
mission.
that the unobtainium zone.
Yeah, I got put in the unobtainium zone for sure. But like, I didn't even like her. That was the thing that was dumb. I'm like, you didn't have to invite your stupid friend. I don't even like you.
Yeah, you're not that hot.
Yeah, that kind of pockmark faced. What's that deal?
I hope she's listening to this.
Yeah, if
She
you're
knows
listening,
she knows who she is.
yeah, she does.
All right.
We'll
Anything
get a
else?
fan letter from her next week.
Yeah. Cease and desist. Don't talk about me on your show. Or I'll have my friend come over.
Yeah, I'll invite my friend over to sit there awkwardly.
I took a girl to a movie once and she like didn't think it was a date. I'm like, what are you talking? It's me and you at a movie and I asked you to come.
It's
Like,
a classic date.
yeah.
Yeah, I know a movie's not the best date as well, but I was just like, it's what came up, so that's what
Yeah.
we settled on.
All right. Anything else, guys? I held you longer than we planned.
Yeah, are you okay with that?
I'm fine. Yeah. I'll have to edit out some of this material. It's pretty offensive, but all right. Sounds like we're good.
Yep. Catch
Yeah,
us
I got a whole
next
bunch of
time.
movies to watch. So yeah, thanks for having me on.
All right.
After
Everyone,
Yeah, thanks for
movies.
coming.
watch Obi-Wan. Comes out on May 27th on Disney Plus.
And She-Hulk, who might represent Obi-Wan in court for what he did to
Yeah.
Anakin.
You know that's what they're gonna do, right?
It's a crossover, epic crossover.
It's called Marvel Secret Wars, and they're planning on doing it.
Wait, for real?
Yeah, where they cross over all the Marvel related comic properties.
Oh
So it
no.
includes stuff um, other than Marvel. It includes Star Wars and stuff like that. So you could have like Darth Vader fight Iron Man.
Oh, of course, of course.
It's gonna be bad.
I totally want that.
Yeah.
All right. Yeah, I'm just realizing now we talked about like a bunch of Disney stuff. But remember, don't support Disney at all.
Yeah,
Yeah,
this
I
is the
hate Disney.
anti-Disney podcast.
Yeah. I have Disney Plus for free. It's the only reason I have it.
I'd
would
steal it from a friend.
Yeah, same.
Yeah.
Same.
Actually, I have it, but I still steal their stuff
Good.
just to make sure they like it's about sending a message.
Yeah. That's what the Joker did.
Yeah. So it was about sending a message.
Hello, is this Granite? Yeah, this is Alex Jones. I'm calling in because you used a clip from my show on your last episode. No, I just wanted to call in and say that bone broth, uh, caveman bone broth, it's the best you've ever had. You're gonna want to buy it. Pick it up at alexjonesstore.com. You're gonna love it. Well, I've been listening since day one, since the first episode. What was that one with Bennett? And you talked about Dune. That was the best episode. Well, I'm definitely a Dune fan. I love the Bene Gesserit, the Bene Laxu. Um, I love the